Hang on one second. There I am.
There you are.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, except for the allergy attack I just had.
I was having one too. Yeah, same thing. I love your background. That's
Oh,
awesome.
thank you. Yeah, we our house kind of looks like this all the time.
Is it really?
Yeah, we're like Halloween all year round. But I mean, I change it around for each show and stuff. So
That's awesome. Well, happy Halloween to you.
yeah, happy Halloween. It is Hallows Eve, all Hallows
Yeah.
Eve. So
And we have our beer.
we have our beer.
What are you drinking?
Same thing, IPA.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm drinking.
Luckily, my husband had some in the refrigerator. So
Very cool. Well,
yeah,
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
yeah, I'm happy to.
Sorry for my funky hair. I had a hair accident the other day, so not much I can do about it. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
You get out of the scissors and you start hacking, and then it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what did I do?
Yeah, I'm actually, I used to, well, every once in a while I do grab the scissors. I'm actually trying to grow my hair out for the first time in my life. And I just stopped cutting it at the beginning of COVID. I'm like, hey, I can't get it cut anyway. So I'm actually enjoying doing stuff, but I have a mohawk too. So it's like, I only have hair.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it the shave part's grown out, but and
How long is it?
it's just about this long.
Wow, that's cool.
Even the back is a little shorter, so it's kind of an A-line haircut.
And you've got some blue in there too.
Yeah, it's like blue and purple. It looks more blue in the front.
Yeah, it's kind of dark. It's hard to see what it is.
Yeah, so but I have my natural hair color through it too. So
That's cool.
I used to do the whole bleach with the full color, just like but as I grew older, I'm like, kind of looks like a wig. So
Yeah, well. See, the good thing about having silver hair is you don't have to do the bleach, right? You just do whatever you want to do.
right,
So, but yeah, it grows out and stuff, and it's like I've never colored my hair all the way. I do like highlights and little things at the end, so it kind of looks intentional. But I've never done like the whole head kind of thing,
yeah.
just because it feels like a lot of work to keep it up.
Yes, it does, and so many mistakes can happen. So
I've heard of people walking out of hairdressers with their hair green,
yeah.
and kind of stuff like that.
Olive drab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's really bad for your hair too, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, let me turn this off. I think I'm getting Facebook.
Oh yeah, I should probably turn mine off too. Oh, I do have mine off. Oh no, I don't. There we go.
Well, how you doing? How's everybody at your house?
Good. We're all healthy. My husband and I just got back from New Orleans yesterday. And
That's cool.
that was awesome. We'd never been before.
Wow.
That was the culture is just amazing. So much great food and music everywhere, and art, street art, as well as fine art. And
it's one of those unique American cities that's like nothing else. There is no other New Orleans.
No.
So
yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, we had so much fun, and it was super cool because the day we got there, they did the Crew of Boo Festival parade, and it was the first parade since COVID struck. So almost 2 years of no parades in New Orleans, and it was just you just kind of have to go with everything. It was so crazy. There were just thousands of people. It was really great, and of course there are people saying, "Oh, we hope there's not an outbreak after this." But
yeah, that's scary, huh?
yeah, but everyone was wearing masks. No one was running around without masks on.
That's cool.
Yeah, really responsible city. We couldn't walk into any place that you would have your mask off, like a restaurant or a bar or anything like that. All of them were you had to have a vaccine card.
Wow.
To get in. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a city ordinance. So that was great because it felt really safe, eating with other people. And they were still like social distancing, keeping people spread out and stuff. But you knew that everybody you were eating in the same room with is vaccinated. So
Yeah, that's great.
yeah,
That's a party town, man. I'm sure that everybody was ready to let loose a little bit,
I think so.
Yeah.
And it was working. The bars and the restaurants were definitely busy the whole time we were there. So it's not like demanding that people be vaccinated is causing a problem, And I guess, I didn't see any problems with it there. I never heard anybody complain.
So you're in the Pacific Northwest. Where are you at up there?
Astoria, Oregon.
Astoria, where's that? I'm not.
Have you ever seen?
Never been to Oregon, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like Oregon. I'm in Oregon. It's are you familiar with the movie Goonies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it was filmed. So that's what we're known for. Is Gooниeville is the nickname of our little town.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's only about 10,000 people. It's a beautiful area. Tourists love it. So we're a tourist town.
Yeah.
Lots of little towns around. Portland, Oregon is about 2 hours away. So
like how far is Eugene and those kind of things?
I'm sorry?
How far away is Eugene, like the other bigger cities?
Yeah, Eugene. Oh gosh. Can never remember how far away Eugene is. Maybe 3 hours.
So where are you? Like in the southern part or the
very, very upper northwest tip. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So right by the ocean, and the Columbia River flows. We're at the mouth of the river. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
an incredible area.
Yeah. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, which is equally as beautiful and equally as much a tourist town.
Okay.
So we feel your pain. We're bigger than you guys are, but tourism is our main industry here just because of the mountains. And so it kind of feels like a small town, kind of rural, kind of back in the woods a little bit. And so it suits us. We love it so much.
Oh, that's great. So what's the population there?
I think it's like the city proper is like 75,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting emails. But it's not too big, but the like the greater population is probably like 250,000. So it's not a tiny town, but it's small enough to where you can walk down the street and meet your friends, and everybody knows everybody. And like, for instance, I'm a filmmaker, and so all the film community is really tight, and the writing community, it's a little less tight because writers are nerds and nevishes, and we tend not to leave our houses. But same thing, like everybody knows everybody, so it's a really great place for like my kid to grow up and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
We love it.
Yeah, and it's probably really beautiful right now with the fall.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. I mean, of course, the Appalachians, we're famous for our fall color, and we've got the Parkway, and so everybody goes up on the Parkway, and we're inundated with tourists and everything. It's kind of hard though because it makes it a hard town to make a living in. Like, there's not a lot of good paying jobs here. Everything is like service industry kind of stuff. So if you're not in like real estate or healthcare, it's like a lot of people are having to leave town because the price of living is so high.
That's and that's happening here. The price of living has just gone up so high, and it's really sad to see it because so we're a couple towns over is Cannon Beach, which was always like the upper class, super expensive little town to go to. And recently I heard, and I don't know if it's true, although we own our property, and so we've seen the fluctuations of like, we base it on what is our property worth now as opposed to when we bought it, and it's increased significantly 3 times what it was when we bought it, and less than 10 years ago. And Cannon Beach, I recently heard the housing industry is just as expensive here as it is in Cannon Beach. So, and that's really shocking because that was always like, Cannon Beach is like 3 times more expensive than here. And now here is just right along with that. So
it's hard, because on one level you're like, yay, my property values are going up. But on another level, you're seeing people struggle and stuff like that.
No, the struggle, people losing their houses, of course, with COVID and everything, with people not being able to work. It's been a real struggle. And I know a lot of people are struggling. And anytime minimum wage goes up, the price of groceries go up and the gas goes up. So it's almost an illusion of, great, I'm going to make $15 an hour. Oh, I'm going to pay $1,500 a month for a little apartment,
Yeah, we Southerners, we liberal Southerners envy you guys out there because we're kind of like a blue dot in a sea of red, and or they always say like North Carolina is a purple state, but it's actually moved more toward the red. Mm-hmm. And we always see Oregon as like this kind of shining, city on the hill, like, oh my God, if we could live in Oregon, just because like the medical care and the trans stuff is really good out there and things like that. But of course I know that there is no city on the hill. I mean, you guys are having problems too.
Oh yeah. And we definitely have our redneck community because it's a big logging and fishing industries around here. So, and not that people that do those jobs are rednecks, but it's pretty balanced. Sometimes it feels pretty balanced, which is weird. You'll be sitting outside of a art gallery, and a big truck will drive by with the Confederate flag, and it's kind of that stuff. It's always shocking, though, I guess, in a way too. So. But people are open about their conservatism.
Well, it's funny. I'm originally from Alabama, so those are my people. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny for me because I'm trans, so I'm like a trans woman with one foot in like redneck America and liberal America. So I've got this like cross-cultural thing happening big time. Which is cool. I mean, I actually like one of the things I know we're here to talk about writing, but one of the things I hated about Trump particularly is he really wedged like, a split between us and them, those some of them are good people. I know. I mean, they're my family and they're good. I know those people and they're good fucking people, but they vote differently than we do. And it's sad. And of course they have different, some different ideas, but this idea that they're evil and we're not, or we're evil and they're not, I hate that.
It's so horrible. My husband and I were just watching, it was made in the 80s. So I'm not sure how things have changed, but it was a British murder mystery. And it was taking place in the 1920s when women's suffrage was happening in Britain, which they were a little later than America was, and women, being considered equal. And it was super cool though. The one guy got up and he was debating that this university, it was a man's university and women were never going to be equal there. And then the other guy got up and he was on the other side of like, women deserve equality and everything, and they were at each other's throats. And then they walk away and they're like talking and they're shaking hands and, they've known each other forever and they sit down and they have a pleasant meal together. And it was just watching that. I was like, when did that, I mean, I know there's always been problems with politics, but it's like, I've always felt like at least people could talk.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't, since the one who shall not be mentioned, our last president, it seems like that isn't even a possibility anymore. Like we can't even talk anymore, and it's horrible.
The reality is, if those people, they want me dead, as a person of the trans persuasion. So it's hard to bridge that divide, Yeah. You literally want me dead. Okay, well, I'm not your friend, So
that's horrible. I can't even imagine thinking that that's okay, especially since a lot of them are religious, right?
Well, the sad thing is they don't really want anybody dead. I mean, it's that whole the other thing, We deal with that in horror a lot in fantasy. the tales of the other and the monstrous other. But once we all get to know each other, we're all good buddies, you know? And that's the real tragedy here is I think a lot of it has come with the digital social media thing and how everybody's sequestered in their little foxholes. And it's like one of those things where if we all broke bread together, so many problems would be solved and we would be friends. The problem is we're not. We're kind of isolated in our little bubbles, you know?
Well, so many, and I feel like so many people, you know, they think a certain way and they say certain things, but if they were to be faced with just let's sit down and talk about this, like they would realize, oh, this person's just a person, you know, just like me, you know, except, you know, things are keeping us divided and social media is so horrible because you can stay in your little bubble with social media, you know.
And I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean,
I mean,
the minute I find somebody's conservative, they're like, delete. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that keeps us in our bubbles, right? Because
it does.
And I'm sure, you know, I hesitate to use the word stupid about some things that I read. I mean, I've seen some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Just is mind-bogglingly. How can anyone even believe that? You know, but the information they're getting, it somehow convincing them. Algorithms, right?
I mean, that's the thing. I'm you know, I think I'm a little older than you are, but I remember back in 1994 when they got rid of the FTC fairness doctrine, which was like a news thing saying if you're a news show, you have to quote unquote tell the facts and you have to at least give lip service to the other side and not just demonize the other side. And Reagan got rid of that in the 80s, and it took until 1994 for the inaction to actually happen. But that's when Fox News was born and Rush Limbaugh came along. And that's when you had like 24/7 talk radio, just demonizing liberals. And of course, those things work a lot better for conservatives. Like we liberals tried to do it with, I think it was Air America or something. And it just doesn't work. I mean, we get our news sources from other sources, you know, and so they just ate it up. And since then, it's been a slow but steady march toward extremism, you know, and what can you do, you know?
What can you do? So,
you can fight it with art. That's what I
can make art. Yes, you can make art. We can have these conversations and hopefully other people will see these conversations, you know, and I think that's about as best we can do the best we can.
Change minds through storytelling. I mean, a lot of the main impetus of my fiction and my art is to create empathy. You know, I'm really looking to create some empathy, and you know, through telling stories and exposing the other as maybe just another person, you know, rather than this monstrous, scary thing. And so a lot of what I've tried to do is get empathy across, you know.
Yes. Same here. Yeah, that's a big theme in my.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. In my first novel, when my publisher asked me what my theme was, I was like, I'm new to the writing world, so I wasn't paying attention to definitions of things like that. You know, I just wrote a story, and I've been learning as I go along. And so it's like theme. What do you mean? I had to look up. You know, what are the themes? Because I'd come up with all this stuff, and he's like, no, that's more of the plot. I'm talking about the theme, and I'm like, I don't know what you mean by theme.
What are you talking about? I'm just a storyteller.
Yeah, you tell them what the theme is, and when I looked it up, and I was like, well, compassion is the theme. You know?
Yeah.
So definitely different people coming together and helping each other out and making it through difficult times. Right.
Well, let me ask you this. I know who you are. I've done a lot of research on you and stuff. I have not read your book, but at the risk of repeating previous shows of yours, could you give me like a 1-minute synopsis of your history and just
sure. Tell us what I'm going to do though? I'm going to blow my nose for real. So excuse me for a second. Okay.
I'm one of those people. I need help to crack a beer. can't get my fingers up under here. So
Yeah, I try not to blow my nose on camera. You know, it's kind of one of
we don't care. We don't care. Just do it.
Yeah, sneezing text right before we started. Here, let's get the intro out of the way. I can always cut it and put it before, or that stuff before.
Okay.
Outtakes.
Never works.
And if we get off the subject and get off the subject of writing, that's completely okay. Because I like to have two main parts of the show, and one about writing and one about something else that you're passionate about. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let me get my cheat sheet.
I'm so glad to be here, by the way. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, I'm glad it worked out that we canceled a couple of times, I think. And
Just once.
Just once? Okay.
Well, we didn't cancel. We actually had an opening that I wasn't able to make. Remember, we scheduled for this one, and then you had a surprise opening, and I was going to my mother.
Yeah, that's right. And then I had to cancel it. All right. Hi, my name is Jude Matulich-Hall, and welcome. This is Titles, Talk, and Tipples. I'll edit that. Here we go. With me tonight is Paul. Oh, you know what? Is it Satchel? Satchel?
Chattel.
Say it again.
Chattel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun to tell.
There you go. All right, I'm going to try that again. Hi, I'm Jude Matulich-Hall, and this is Titles, Talks, and Tipples. With me this evening is Polly Chattel.